Hello and welcome to Riffle Shuffle and Roll. My name is Mark, and today I'm going to do a teach and playthrough of the solitaire game Gridcannon by Tom Francis. This was the inspiration behind my game, Clear the Dungeon. I'm going to have timestamps down in the description for key moments if you want to jump around in the video. And as we play, be sure to let me know if you see any mistakes I make or if you see any moves that I should have made. Of course, if you have any questions about how the game works, leave those down in the comments too, and I will do my best to get to them. All right, let's dive in and play some Gridcannon. First, we are going to set up the game. Then I'm going to talk about the objective, how to accomplish the objective, and what the special cards do. To set up the game, first you need a 54 card deck, so that's a standard deck with 2 jokers. We'll shuffle those cards together, and then you're going to create a 3x3 grid out on the table. You will need space around 3x3 grid for the royal cards, the court cards. Any court cards, aces, or wilds that are revealed during the setup are placed off to the side, and we will use those after setup. Move down just a little bit so we have room above. You will have court cards around the entire perimeter of the grid, so make sure you have room for them. Once your grid is created, any face cards that are removed need to be placed around the grid. Here are the rules for placement. First, you take the court card, and you will find the highest ranking card in the 3x3 grid of the same suit. So for this grid, the 5 of hearts is the highest ranking card in the heart suit that's on the outside of the grid. And that is where you place the card. Next, we have the King of Clubs. The 10 of Clubs is the highest ranking club out on the grid. Since it's on the corner, I can choose where to put it. I can put it here, or I can put it here. And I'm going to definitely put it right here. If you are unable to match it to a card of the same suit, you go to the same color. So for example, with the queen, if there was no heart, I would go to the highest ranking diamond. If there were no hearts or diamonds, I would go to the highest ranking number card. Since there are 2 10s here, I would get to pick which 10 to put it by. And since this 10's on the corner, I would get to pick where it goes. So although the creator of this game did a nice job with the dungeon setup or the grid setup being pretty randomized and nice, they still give you some choice for setting up the game in your favor a little bit. Now, the wilds and the aces are special cards. They're kind of in an inventory off to the side. Wilds will allow you to take the top card off of a pile and move it onto another pile, as long as you are following the rules for placement in doing so. And aces allow you to pick up an entire pile and put it on the bottom of the deck. And we'll see how all of that stuff works here during gameplay. The goal of the game is to defeat all of the court cards. By the end of the game, you should have all 12 court cards around the exterior of the grid, and they should all be defeated. That's how you win. How do you defeat a court card? So this is called Gridcannon because, as you can see, the court card is on the perimeter of the grid, and then the column or row that it faces is essentially a cannon. So as you're looking at this grid, for this Queen of Hearts, the 5 and the 8 are the attack cards. The total of the attack cards must be equal to or greater than the value of the queen. Jacks are 11, queens are 12, kings are 13. The first card in the column is the trigger card. As soon as a player places a card on top of the trigger space, it triggers the attack. If the two attack cards are of the right value when added together, the queen is destroyed. If you play on the trigger space and these cards do not do what they need to do to defeat the queen, then nothing happens. Each court rank has its own special requirement. So for jacks, it does not matter what suit these cards are. You just need the attack cards to equal 11 or more. And as soon as you play in a trigger card, the jack is destroyed. Queens require that the attack cards be the same color. So these two cards would need to be a diamond or a heart. The trigger card does not matter. Kings require that the two attack cards are the same suit. Again, trigger does not matter. So as you can see, I set it up. We already have enough here. We have 14. The king is 13. All I need to do is play a trigger card and boom, that king is destroyed. Same goes for this queen. She is set up to be destroyed as soon as I play a trigger card here. All right, let's dive into gameplay. Now, gameplay is simple. You draw the top card from the stock, and then if it's a number card, you play it to the grid. If it's a face card, you add it to the perimeter of the grid. And if it's a special card, you put it in your inventory over here. So there are rules for placement. When placing a number card, it can go on any card, but it must be equal to or greater than the number of the top card. So since this is a 10, I can play it on any number. I can play it on this 10 or anything less than 10. Now, since all I need to do is get a trigger here for the queen, I'm going to go ahead and play this up here. Once a court card is placed up here, this is a great total to be used to destroy them as long as it's a diamond or a red card. I might have to upgrade here, but we'll see how that works. So I triggered the attack. 8 plus 5 is 13. That's more than enough to destroy the queen. When you destroy a court card, you simply flip it face down. And if you win the game, you'll have the perimeter of the grid full of face down cards. All right, that ends that turn. Let's go ahead and draw another card. It's a jack of clubs, so I have to place it near the highest club right here. Turn that around. Next card. King of diamonds. Well, that's going to go by the 10. Excellent. So, all right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use a wild. So a wild allows you to take the top card from a pile and move it to any other pile as long as you're following the rules of placement. When you use any of these cards from your inventory, you simply play them face down so you know that they've been used. I'm going to move this 9 right here. Now, I have more than enough diamond power here to kill the king. I just need to set off a trigger right here. And I don't have to worry about the jack's requirement because any suit is okay. I do have an empty space up here, but that's all right. I can fill it whenever I feel like it or whenever I have to. And here is a perfect card to play right here. It's a 5. I can play it on top of the 5. I trigger the cannon. Boom. This king is destroyed. 6 of hearts. See, this is a tough one. I'm kind of trapped here with this 10. I will never be able to trigger this attack on the jack unless I get another 10. Well, 3 of them are already out. So I'm probably going to have to use an ace or a wild to do something with this 10. Which is unfortunate because I don't want to have to use these cards already. I've already used one of my wilds. I only have one left. I don't want to mess with this king. I think I will go ahead and do that. I'm going to use one of my aces. I'm going to take this 10 and put it on the bottom of the pile. You are allowed to use your special cards anytime before you play. So, like, I could use one before I drew, after I drew, before I play this card. You're allowed to use those whenever is best for you. So now I'm down to one wild, one ace. I played a trigger card here, showing this jack. Okay. Now there is a special rule for when you're unable to play a card. Now I can play this 4 up here in the corner. Now, or I could play it right here on top of this 4. But let's say that I was unable to play this 4. If you're unable to add a number card to the grid, then it has to become armor for one of the royals on the outside of the grid. And the rules for placement are, first you go to the lowest ranking royal, and if there isn't one in that suit, you would go to the same color. And then if there isn't one of the same color, you would go to highest royal of your choice. All right, so let's go ahead and throw this 4. We will throw it up here. It's a nice little card. 3 of clubs. All right, we're already at that circumstance. So I can either add 3 armor to this king, making it worth 16 instead of 13. And then I would no longer be able to kill it here. Or I could use one of my special cards to arrange the board in a way to keep me from doing that. I really don't want to do that, but I guess... Oh boy. Well, okay. I'm going to... You know what? I'm just going to attach this 3. So it's worth 16. That's not the end of the world. I can get something higher here if I have to. But I really want to save that wild for later in the game. Jack of diamonds. I can put it here or here. And that's only 9. Ugh. Yeah, if I put it here, I've already got enough of an attack to destroy it. But I need a pretty high trigger card, which I'm going to need to trigger the king anyways. So I'm going to place it here. If I put it up here at the top, then I don't have enough attack power, but I have a lower trigger card. But I'm setting up a nice combo, because if I play a card here, then I will trigger the attack on the king and the jack at the same time. Let's do it. Boom. 9 of clubs. And that is perfect. So I trigger the attack on the jack, turn that card over, trigger the attack on the... Oh man, I just goofed it up. All right, because it's 16 now, not 14. Somebody's screaming at the screen right now saying I did this wrong. All right, well, I'm in a position where I absolutely need to move a card with the wild. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to use my wild. And I'm going to move this. That's not enough either. Sucks. I'm going to move this 8 down to here. And then I'm going to play my 9 here. So now I have enough. I'll trigger the attack on the king. And I'll trigger the attack on the jack. The only thing now is, let's see. No, I'm sitting pretty. When I get a royal card here, this is going to be tough. I'm going to have to play a 10 or use an ace. I'm out of wilds. Let's keep going here. Got a queen showing. The highest diamond that I can play it by is here. This is tough. I don't have enough attack power here. Move. I do have one more ace to use. Oh, 7 is not going to be enough to budget together. I guess I'll put the 7 here, so I'm at 11 for the attack on the queen. 6 of spades. This hurts. I'm going to go ahead and put this here. That'll make this 12. It'll be at least 12, but still getting that trigger. There's an ace. That's nice to see. I think I have one more ace in the deck. Queen of spades needs to either go here. Yep, and that's where it's going to go. If I put it here, that'll force me to deal with this 10. But I'm going to have to deal with it anyway. Well, but I'm already halfway there with the queen by putting it there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh my gosh, and now I have to figure out what to do with this 10. Maybe that's not a good idea. Either way, I have to figure out what to do with a 10. All right, I'm going to leave it there. 8 of spades. Okay, I will put this here. Oh, it's not enough for the queen of diamonds. Oof. I guess I'll throw it down here for now. King of spades. It goes here. Oh boy. So you might be asking, what if we get a royal to the value of more than 20? So the best you can do on attack is 2 10s. And then a king, the best you can do is an attack of 19, because a 10 of the same suit and a 9 of the same suit. So if you have to assign armor to any court card that brings it beyond beatable, then the game is just an automatic loss. So if that happens, you lose. Another ace. Okay. I have 3 aces to work with. That is excellent. 7 of clubs here. Doesn't really help me. I'm going to put that here and just hope. 4. 2 of clubs. Okay, so I absolutely can't play this. Oh, yeah, I got to get rid of that anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and play an ace. Get rid of this. 10 of clubs. Put it at the bottom of my draw pile. Start that off with a 2 right there. Okay. Another 2. Okay, I can put that there. Fine. Another 2. Good grief. I'll put that there. 8 of diamonds. Finally, I can place that. No, it's not enough to kill the queen. Okay, so I need to... Oh my gosh. Either way, I'm making this really difficult. 8 plus 4 is 12, so that'll be enough to kill the queen. I need any card here greater than a 7. I got a queen of clubs. Oh boy. Oh, right here. Boom. I place it right here. I'm ready to destroy it. All I need is a good trigger card, which I got. So I can trigger this. 13, destroy that queen. Very nice, very nice. 4 of hearts. I can put that here. Jack of spades. Oh man, I didn't put that queen in the right spot. All right, so just for future reference, that queen should have went up there by the 9. That's going to really mess things up. All right, well, okay. So I'll put that up there. It's not going to change anything, because instead of putting the queen here, it would have went up there. I still played a trigger here, which shoot, destroys the queen up here. So that's still fine. I got the jack of spades now, which needs to go beside the 7. I'm still going to put it here. Yes, I'm still going to put it here. So I don't think I messed up the game. I think I fixed it. Tell me in the comments if I really screwed things up. Let's see. 6. I can use that here. I got to deal with that 10. So I'm going to... Ooh, it's too easy to put a trigger here to get rid of this jack. So what I'm going to do is use an ace. Get rid of this pile that has at least a 10 in it, which will be helpful. later in the game. And then put this 6 here. Great. Now I have enough to take out that queen. An easy trigger space. Same thing down here. An easy trigger space for the jack. I've got 1, 2, 3 more royal cards in the deck. Ooh. Okay. Trigger card. Jack is taken care of. 9. Excellent. Which I can actually put right here. So that king is set up and ready to go. King of Hearts needs to go right here. Ooh. Oh, man. That's going to be tricky. And the Jack of Hearts. Since there are no hearts to put it beside, there are no diamonds to put it beside, there's only one space left. Five of spades. Okay. I'm going to put the 5 right here. No, that'll screw that up. Wait a minute. Okay. Well, if I put the 5 here, I will trigger the attack on the jack. And I will trigger the attack on that queen. And I'm going to say I can fix that pretty easy. There. That's taken care of. That's taken care of. I'm down to 3 royal cards. But they are going to be tough. For sure. 10 of hearts. I think my only option's right here. Triggering this attack on the king. Okay, 2 more royal cards to deal with. And I have 1 ace left. I need this card to become a heart. And I need this card to become a red card. And I need a trigger card that is 7 or higher. I have a lot of cards left in the deck. The only issue will be if I start pulling out low ones again, and then I start adding armor to these royals. Yikes, just like that. Okay, so let's see here. There's more than enough here. Need red cards. I could pick this up, trigger the queen, and get that finished. But then I'm out of pickup cards, and I have to absolutely hope there's a red 10 in here, and then anything greater than an 8. Well, let's do that. I know there's nothing bigger than an 8 in here. That's not going to be helpful in the long run. Trigger the attack on the queen. Oh, I have 1 more ace. What am I going to do with that? Let's see what my next card is first. Wait. No, I just used the ace. So discard that. Man, I hope there aren't too many caveats to this if I win. Oof. Okay, so this 3 can go there. A 9 of hearts. Beautiful. But I need a 9 or a 10 trigger. And I need not pull. Yes, okay. All right, I just won the game. So, hopefully, I know I had a couple mistakes, but I think I fixed them in a way that it wouldn't affect the outcome of the game. Let me know if you catch something in the comments, but there is the game. I have all the court cards on the outside. I only have 5 cards left, so technically I won, but there is a way to keep score. Basically, at the end of the game, you earn a point for every special card you did not use. So I won the game with 0 because I used all 6 cards. Perfect win would be 6 points because you didn't use any of your cards. And that was Gridcannon. So even though I had a couple mistakes, I think I caught everything and fixed it, and I think this was a legitimate win. Not a great one, because it was still a win with a score of 0, but a win nonetheless. If you would like to check out some other solitaire games, I have a playlist for you. And I also have a playlist for the games of my design. I've got a few more coming out soon. And I will also continue to do these solitaire games. I'm trying to find as many modern solitaire games as I can. And I'm going to play those, learn to play them, and bring them to you in video form. I would like to take a moment here to share one of the new objectives of the channel. So now that I have the fundraiser ability, I have started a fundraiser for 2025 to raise $500 or more for Toys for Tots. So each year I'm going to pick a new charity to focus on. Toys for Tots has always meant a lot to me. I think their mission of trying to give kids who are less fortunate a really good holiday season is a good one. And I think toys line up well with what I do with the channel with games. So if you're feeling giving, you can go to that fundraiser, and the money you give to the fundraiser goes directly to Toys for Tots. YouTube does not take a cut. I do not take a cut. It's 100% to the charity. And like I said, each year I'll probably pick one that's different, try to focus on different areas. And for 2025, it's Toys for Tots. So I think we can easily hit the goal of $500. What I will do personally is throughout the year, put aside a certain percentage of what I make. And at the end of the year, I'll be giving that to Toys for Tots as well. So here in December, sometime right before Christmas, I will be able to announce not only what the channel was able to encourage people to give through my fundraiser, but what I was able to give as well and give a sweet total. So I just think that's something fun. And like I said, each year I'll focus on a different charity. All right, that is all I have for you today. Stay tuned for more videos. And if you want to support the channel, the best thing you can do is just subscribe, ring the bell, and give the video a thumbs up. Share it with people who might find the games interesting. All of those things really help me out. I don't have any sponsors. All I want is my content, my videos to help you play more games. So until next time, keep on playing.